What is up, YouTube? It is Mike. I'm going to show you today how to customize your brake calipers to put yourself a fancy logo on the front of them, repaint them, make them all nice and customized to look from this to this. We're gonna put these on EgoBruise here, so stay tuned. Yes, guys, I'm back. It's been a minute, hasn't it? This is crooked. Well, it has been a minute since I made a video. It's been a minute since I've seen you guys, and I apologize. I owe everyone an explanation. Probably not the time to do it. I don't want to get into details. I'm just not. But the point is that, trust me, I couldn't help it, okay? And I still can't help it, and it is what it is. The content has, really slowed down. Hopefully it ramps up. I can't guarantee anything right now. We got a lot going on. Life is taking over and doing its thing. Life does. So there's no excuses, but I'm still out here wrenching on other things and doing other crap. I'm constantly staying busy. But today, I'm working on EgoBruise. Have I done anything? Hey, you probably thought, Mike, is it painted? Is it ready to drive? I mean, it's been 6 months. I should be done right now. No, it hasn't. No, nothing's been done. Really. A few things have been done, I think. We fired it up last time. Yeah, a few things. It's okay. We're getting there. I got a plan. Okay, it's fine. It's gonna be done. We're getting there. All right, so you got yourself a set of Cadillac CTS or any kind of caliper for that case. In this case, these are the CTS Brembos that we're putting here with the S&S conversion kit that puts them on Cobra rotors. So this is a 4-piston Brembo. Okay, so this is a big bad boy here that you can get for cheap. I'm not going to go over this. We already covered the video on Cadillac Brembos on your Fox body, and as well as other people, like tens of thousands of other YouTubers have covered the same thing. So it's nothing new, but what I wanted to do is take care of the Cadillac logo, the Cadillac with Brembo, and do something a little bit more customized. Now this is the EgoBruise logo. That's the name of our 79 EcoBoost coupe back here, with the Brembo logo on it. And there is 2 ways to go about doing logos on it. I didn't find a really good video on YouTube, so I decided to cover it and show you guys how I personally did it. Okay, so it may work for you, it may not work for you. There may be other ways you know how to do it, and that's perfectly fine. But essentially, there's 2 ways to go about doing this. Of course, you're first off going to have to get yourself some vinyl cut decals here. So I had these made when I had a whole bunch of things made for the channel and made it for EgoBruise here, and I went ahead and made these from a vinyl company, and it literally is just EgoBruise and Brembo in red vinyl. Now these aren't special vinyl, it's just a normal cut vinyl to use as a transfer template. Now there's 2 ways to go about doing this. You could either paint it red or paint it the color you want the lettering to be, put the stencils on, and then paint the color of the caliper you want the caliper to be, and then peel the stencils off, and then you've got to look like this. This is what I ended up doing on this. So I didn't want, if you can see that, there's not really a lip. These aren't protruding because I did that. I painted this red, put the lettering on it, and then painted it black, and then peeled them off. And I did it twice because I learned my lesson. There's a wrong way and right way. But that is the one way to do it. Now, the reason why I chose it to do that way versus the other way, which would be just painting it black, laying down the letters on top of the caliper, and then maybe doing a clear coat over it. That is a second way. I chose not to do that way because this is not a high temp vinyl. You can get high temp vinyl, and I think that would probably work pretty well if you had high temp vinyl and you just put it on a black painted caliper and clear coat it over it. I chose not to because I thought maybe the high heat will start lifting and then maybe make the clear coat crack, and then as I go power wash the car, I would have letters starting to fall off. I didn't want to mess with that, so I wanted to put it into the paint, which is what I did here. What I'm using is back here, and you can use kind of really anything you want. We've got 3 back here, but I've got your basic red duplicolor caliper paint, your basic gloss black caliper paint, and your clear caliper paint, which is made by VHT. These are all pretty good products. I like the way they're laid out. One thing I will say, this is just my personal preference. I'm not a huge fan of shiny. You guys know me. I don't dig the shiny, but it came out pretty glossy. Of course, I did put a gloss clear on it, and I might go back and actually, I just got that really messy. I might go back and actually scuff these down to give them more of a matte finish. I don't know. They look pretty good. So really no complaints here, but there is a layer of clear coat over the black, which was already glossy. The clear coat didn't really do a whole lot more than just make it a little bit more glossy. But I do like these, you know, this style of finish, which is more of a powder coat or really, I don't know, really nice quality paint here on the Cadillac logo here. But what we're gonna have to do is sand this down. So we wanna make sure everything's really clean, sand it down. We're gonna disassemble the brake, take the decals off, take the pads off, mask anything we don't want painted. In this case, I didn't want the S&S adapters painted. I didn't want the, you know, the bleeder painted. I didn't want the brake pads and the retaining clips here or our banjo back there. So I took this stuff apart, make sure it's, you know, it's basically just everything I needed painted, and we'll start cleaning it up. Hey, if you're curious about this car has been ripping it up here. This is my Blue 86 turbo car, of course. I've been doing some maintenance on it. It needs some work. I ripped it today. I basically took this car out and drove it like I stole it, man. Tore the tires apart just about. I mean, they were coming apart almost, not quite, they're getting there. Started having a miss at a really high RPM, which just kind of came out of nowhere. The car's running really good, like almost too good. And usually when something's running that good, it means something's about to break. So that's my experience with it. Last time it ran that good, I blew a head gasket. But I need to go through it. So I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna check the plugs. First thing I'm gonna do is just pull the plugs out. Take a look at the plugs. That'll tell us a lot. Let's see what's going on. Otherwise, I replaced the distributor with a Dynamod Davis Unified distributor. When did I do that? I did it a while back. This thing stranded me on the road. I thought it was the TFI module. I keep an extra TFI module in the glove box. I swapped it out, that didn't do it. Changed the coil out, that didn't do it. That's when I realized, okay, this is nothing left other than the coil, your TFI module, and the pickup sensor and distributor, which ended up being the problem. So it was the Hall Effect pickup sensor, or the magnetic pickup sensor inside the distributor itself. I thought, you know what, this thing's probably pretty old and sloppy. I went ahead and replaced it with one of these, and it's been absolutely amazing since today. And then after today, I got that stumble higher RPM. No big deal. All right, like anything, guys, prep work is everything when it comes to this kind of thing. I will say though, just go ahead and dedicate a few days of time for this, okay? If you're in a rush to get this car or get your vehicle back on the road, don't be, because let me tell you something, it's gonna take a while. You wanna make sure these paint layers dry, and then make sure that everything, you know, adheres and is perfectly dry before you put it back on the car. So yeah, so give yourself some time for the paint to dry, okay? So it's gonna take a little bit. We're gonna sand this down. We're gonna spray a layer of red just on the face here. I wanna get this as smooth as I can. The Cadillac logo will actually show up underneath the paint if you're not careful. Even though it's flat, just the color difference, it will show up. So you need quite a bit of paint here to make sure that the Cadillac logo is completely covered. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing disassembled, get it sanded. We'll put the coat of red on it today, let it sit, let it dry. Come back tomorrow, we'll put our decal on, okay? And then we'll give it a nice scuff, a nice wipe and clean, and then start spraying everything black. One thing I forgot to mention you will need is a wax and grease remover, some sort of a cleaner. You don't want anything too harsh that wipes the paint off. Wax and grease remover I've got up there is an SPI, and it works perfect for this, and you need to do it, because one of the reasons why I did this thing twice is because after I did the red, after I put the logo on it, I just sprayed it with black, and it immediately lifted, and I ended up having to sand it down and start over. So I learned my lesson with that. I've also got myself a piece of scrap metal, and I highly recommend this. As you do a layer, spray layer here, okay? That way, if you got any kind of weird chemical reaction, so whatever you do on your caliper, do it on this, just pretend like this is part of your caliper. That way, if you got any weird lifting or weird paint or reaction or something going on with the paint, you'll see it here before you have to go redo your caliper, okay? And also ignore this Edelbrock over here, okay? I don't want you guys to think I'm an Edelbrock fan. There's a reason why it's on the table, okay? I'm a Holly guy, and this needs to just go back over here. Okay. All right, so we just want to give it a minute to flash off. It looks like it's already pretty dry, and then we're going to shoot a light coat of red on it, and then give it 10 minutes for the light coat to tack up, and then we're going to give it a nice heavy coat of red. We don't want to see the Cadillac. We want to make sure we have as much heavy red as we can here on the face. I don't care if we get overspray anywhere else on it. Really, we're going to paint it over with red anyways. If you want to get hardcore, you could totally mask this off and only show this area, but I didn't do it the last time, and it doesn't matter. So red. And honestly, man, the last time this stuff sprayed out, it sprayed out pretty dang nice. The red did. The black was okay. Black shows everything though. But yep, we're gonna go ahead, just like I said, get your hands clean. We don't want any dust following it. One more little wipe here. I don't like dust. I don't want to see dust nibs on it, even though it's just a brake caliper. And it's gonna happen because I'm about to shoot it on my bench, which is dirty. All right, Duplicolor caliper paint, red. Here we go. All right, let that tack up a moment before we do any heavy coats. Now we're gonna put a nice heavy coat on it. Just like that. Okay, well, I guess I'll see you in a day or two while this is drying up on us, and we'll put the decals on and continue on. I want to see if there's anything. I'm looking, let me show you here. I'm looking to make sure that in the reflection here, I don't see the Cadillac logo. I see something right here, but what's interesting, if you can see that, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, the other caliper had the exact same thing. It's like a weird divot low spot right there. I'm not sure what's up with that. It's almost like a fisheye. You can see it though, but I guarantee you that's not part of the paint, or it's not, it's just something in the casting, because the other one did it as well. But anyways, the paint looks good. The red looks pretty good. It's nice and shiny. We'll let that dry overnight. We'll put the decals on. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go over here and start wrenching on the blue turbo car, start pulling the spark plugs out of it, see if I can find out why we have a miss at high RPM. So. All right, guys. On the 86 here, man, I think I may have a problem here. At least I caught it before it became a really big problem, but it looks like cylinder number 2 here. So the second one here, back to the passenger side. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So cylinder number 2 here looks like it is running lean. I noticed the spark plug on cylinder number 2 had some pitting. Let me show you the spark plug real quick, and I'll go ahead and use my bore scope and put it down into the cylinder so I can get a little bit better understanding maybe on what's going on in that cylinder. All the other cylinders look good. I haven't looked at 8 yet because it's just hard to get back there, to be honest, but all the other cylinders look pretty good. And just based on the spark plug that I saw at number 2, it don't look too good. Let me show you the spark plug. Okay, so by the way, number 8's missing. Why is 8 missing? Well, because I dropped it and it is sitting out down in the K member. I can't get it. I have a magnetic tool somewhere, but I can't seem to locate it. So I'm wondering if my son borrowed it to do, you know, fun things. So I'm about to go to the auto parts store. I'm gonna get new spark plugs for it anyways, just because they're out, I might as well. I'm gonna pick up one of those little magnetic fishing things. I can fish it out. Anyway, so we got 1, 2, 3, missing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got number 2 here. Now you won't be able to pick this up on camera, I don't think. I'll do my best. But what I've noticed here is, one, the strap is hot, and it looks like it's gotten hot. We've got some pitting on it. We got some pitting on the end here where it looks like the metal has started to boil up a little bit, and the porcelain has these little red dots on it as well. So this is an indicator that that cylinder is getting hot. The rest of them aren't like that, but they're getting kind of lean. Like, I mean, the strap on this one, this is number 1, is leaner than I like, but the porcelain's looking pretty good. And by the way, that lean, what I'm looking at here could also be from, the cruising. It's not like a thing, put the car in heavy boost and then shut it off and read the plugs. But, this is an indication of misfire, or indication of a lean cylinder, which could also be my high-end popping that I'm feeling. So I'm gonna get number 8 looked at here. Let me at least get the bore scope down it, and let me show you number 2 cylinder though, because I've checked all the cylinders out. They all look pretty good. You've got some nice golden color on the cylinder or on the piston heads, but this guy, let's see if you can see it here. This guy looks pitted, right? It almost looks like rust. Getting super hot and flaking off, so I can't really get a great picture in it here, but this cylinder or this piston, see, there you go. You can see some marks on it there. Notice the shiny marks there. Looks almost like it's rust pits. So all the other pistons look great. The cylinder walls look great still, and all the other pistons you can still read all the letters. There you go. That's what I was trying to show y'all. I'm moving the camera like it's moving this camera, and my brain and hands aren't functioning right now. But you can see that shiny spot off to the bottom left there. And you can see the carbon build up here. So this is just looks like it's getting hot. Now we don't have any holes yet. I don't see any of the piston melting. So again, I think I've caught it. But this is kind of an indication that maybe I've got an injector that is clogged or not firing or not delivering enough fuel in that cylinder. That would be the only reason that I could think of that one cylinder would be running lean versus the rest of them. So we could fatten up the tune, or I could probably need to pull that injector and go get it tested, and or just replace it. Anyways, yeah, there's that. I'll see you guys tomorrow to continue our caliper. Okay, fellers, it's been a couple days, and I have let this thoroughly dry. But I'll tell you what, I'm not super happy with the texture. You can see it on there. It's not the paint. The paint flowed out smooth. I really just think this is the texture of the cast on the aluminum. However, I do believe I got the other one a little bit smoother. So I'm just going to take another time to put another coat on it. Now, you're probably thinking, why didn't I put a primer on it, like a high build primer or something? And the reason why I went straight from caliper to paint is because of the heat. I don't know if they make it, and you guys I'm sure will correct me if they make a high build primer or a high temp style high build primer. But nonetheless, this is a high temp paint. We're just going to use this, and I'm just going to put multiple layers on it just to make it a little bit thicker. I'm most worried about this. I'm not really worried about the rest of it. I'm just worried about the face of it, because this is what's being shown through the car's wheels. So I got me some 320 grit here, and I've got me a block, and we're just going to lightly smooth this. And you can see that high spot I was talking about. The other caliper has that exact same spot right there, but we're going to keep doing this until I get a flatter surface. And I swear to God, trust me on this, the most important thing is a wax and grease remover, especially since I got my greasy hands on it right now. Remember, we'll take a dry cloth here and just kind of wipe it. Okay, here we go. Shake it up. Hopefully it doesn't bubble up on us. What are you doing, paint? Don't do that. Leave it alone. We'll let it dry. All right, it's the next day. It looks a lot better. It's a lot smoother, I think it is. You still got that weird little circle there, but again, that's in the casting. I don't know. Not worried about it. Looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and put the decal on now. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I just want to center it. You can put this obviously anywhere you want. I want it to look like the other one. The other one, I simply made sure the Brembo part here was right before this curve here, so it should fit right into the curve here, but not hanging off the edges like this. So to keep it nice and straight, what I'll do is kind of hold it there. I'm going to use a piece of tape just to align it and hold it for a second, and then I'm going to mark it with another piece of tape just to give me some guidance for whenever I put it on. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So it looks like the E is just on the corner. On that side, the E is a little bit closer this way, like that. Okay, so all I'm doing is just holding it there while I make a line to mark it. Just like this. We're gonna put a line down here. There. Okay, and then also, as weird as it sounds, see if we can't put a little line like that. So I know orientation like so. Okay, cool. So now what I'll do is take this top one off and apply said decal. Okay, I'm trying not to touch any of the vinyl because I want that to stay on during the sanding that we're going to be doing next here. Okay. So I'm going to take, so this backing is really slippery, it's almost like a wax. So I'm going to use it to help slide. Okay, a little bit of water on the decal outside here. Oh man, that transferred perfectly. Cool. So you won't be able to see it because it's basically red on red. You gotta look pretty closely, but hopefully you can see that there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it? All right, so we got the decal on. Now, this is where I made the mistake last time. This adhesive puts some sort of a coating, or it puts something onto it that really screwed up the next paint job. I ended up having to sand it down, doing this whole process over again, because what I didn't do is clean it really good and scuff it really good. And that's why I want to make sure here really good, because we are actually going to scuff over the top of it with a Scotch-Brite. And just do it lightly. All I'm trying to do is not scuff the paint. I'm sorry, not scuff the decal off, but we want to scuff it so the paint has something onto here too, the black paint. So just kind of lightly here, man. If I scrub too hard, I'm going to start scrubbing the decals, especially these little edges. This is a really detailed decal. If you guys just have like just a Brembo, you could do it quite a bit bigger than this is. These have some really little details in it. So just want to be kind of careful. See, and what's cool is this isn't, you won't even notice that little round spot there because the decal doesn't go over it. Okay, gentle through here. Okay. Okay, we don't want to forget our wax and grease remover. I got a little bit too much on this rag, I think. It is soaking wet. Get all of it, because now we're going to be painting the whole thing black. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and paint the back side of it black. Let it tack up a little bit, and then flip around and do the other side. Let that tack up and we'll flip it around. All right, here we go. Painting black over the decal. Ooh, I don't like dry spray. All right, guys, hey, that looks pretty good. We're gonna wait for this to tack up. I don't want this to dry 100% completely, because if I do, it's gonna be really hard to get these decals completely off. But I want it dry to the touch. I don't want it to cure like 24 or 48 hours. I want this dry to the touch. So maybe a few hours, but I'm gonna come back and we're going to very carefully, with an X-Acto knife, peel off every single one of these letters. I know it's crazy. Then we're gonna let it dry 24 hours. And the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a slight sand again, just to get rid of any of the ridges or edges that black paint job created on top of the red around the letters. And then we'll hit it with a coat of the clear, just to kind of smooth it out and flatten it out. Because you can see on this one, there really is no roll, there is no ridge on it at all. And it came out really nice. So really happy with this. And if you take this off and just be done with it, you will have a little bit of a ridge. And I think sanding it and then putting a clear coat on it last minute, or for the last coat, is really kind of what sets it apart, makes it look a little bit more professional. So we'll let that dry and we'll be back. right, so I want to say it's been like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, probably an hour and a half. And I got my reader's glasses here because I'm getting old and it makes it easier to see. But what we're going to do is take an X-Acto knife. Now it's not dry. It's tacky, but it's, you know, I could touch it and I'm not seeing like fingerprints. So that's kind of what I want. And this is easily the most difficult spot, but it's going to be easier to lift up when it's soft like this. So we're going to grab a corner. And I'll be right back. I need some tweezers. Yes, go borrow your wife's tweezers. That's cool. Hey, so I use the X-Acto knife to kind of lift the edge. Then I'll use the tweezers to pull it off. Like that. Boop. Maybe, and I don't know, you gotta be careful because if you start on the black end, you'll definitely scratch it. So I kind of start right, if I can, on the edge of the art. This is why you don't want to wait till the completely dry. But anyways, I'm going to continue to do this for the next 45 minutes. What's up, y'all? It's the next day and it looks really good. It dried really good. In fact, you're thinking, hey, you're done, right? No, I'm not done. We're going to screw it up by putting a clear coat on it, just like I did this one. Now, you'll see, if you can notice, that this is not as shiny. It looks kind of like a dullness to it, and I think that's a clear coat, but we're about to find out. I don't know, but we are going to sand this down a little bit. Let me show you, and you can't, of course, feel this, but if you put your hand over here, if you were here to feel this, you would feel that this has a raised kind of a feeling to it. So I'm going to go an extra step further and we're just going to go sand this down just a little bit just to kind of layer out and smooth out this edge. What I'm feeling is the higher paint on the black side than it's on the red side. So it looks really good though. I kind of could be just done with it right here, but I am going to go ahead and just sand it, and we're going to put in a clear coat on, across it or over it. Jesus, Mike. Jeez. We're going to put a clear coat on it. We're going to clear coat it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to clear coat it with this VHT caliper paint, high temp stuff. So we are mixing brands, and maybe that's why it gets kind of funky. I don't know. We're going to find out. So stay tuned. So I'm going to scuff this. We're going to do the same thing we've been doing. Wipe it with some wax and grease remover, and then we're going to spray the clear. It looks so pretty. I really am only worried about this section here. And I can tell you already it feels a lot smoother, at least over the pad. So, yep, that's what we're going to do. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm not too worried about doing the whole thing because this black is shiny enough. I'm not going to lie. The black itself looks really good. You could easily just put a coat of black on it and be done with it. But since I know I'm going to be shooting the front of it here, anything that's kind of going to get hit with overspray from the clear, I want to at least make sure that it sticks. So we're just going to kind of scuff up what we know is going to be hit. And I definitely don't want to go too far and expose the red. That would be bad. So just scuff, just a scuff and clean. There we go. SBI wax and grease remover. And I promise you, once this is sprayed clear, you will notice a difference on it. It already looks smoother. And that's kind of what it's going to look like. Look how smooth it looks now. I mean, there's barely any orange peel on it anymore. Looks pretty good. We will let this dry completely and then spray it. Isn't this exciting? I know. This is like, hey, Mike, I haven't seen you in 6 months. Let's see what you're doing to EgoBruise. Let's go drive it. Let's go rip some tires up. No, we're just going to paint a caliper. But, you know, hey, that's what you get, guys. Sorry. Pure entertainment. So it's going to take a second here just to close the garage door. I don't want any wind in here. I want it nice and calm, okay? Because any kind of breeze or anything like that, it's gonna get a little bit of nibs and dust in my clear coat. I know this is not a controlled paint booth, but control what you can control, okay? And that's the wind and stuff, and causing, you know, coughing and sneezing and blowing dust around with your, you know, compressed air. So let's do this. Okay, we want to avoid dry sprays. We want to also avoid thin coats. I'm going to go straight to a thick coat here because we want that shine. And that's it. I'm done. Not going to put any more on it. Let me just check. That looks really good. So we're going to leave that alone. Let me get the back side here because I did sand these down like that. This clear for VHT comes out a lot faster. So be careful, man. That is totally different. Okay, now we just hope it doesn't react, but so far so good. Let's look here. Yeah, we got some funkiness going on there. Don't like that. But that is starting to look really nice on the front of the caliper. I'm actually not that concerned about that because that is still probably just casting. We smoothed this section because it's what's visible the most, and that's probably just casting. It's just more noticeable. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. Hopefully this stays as clear. This one, and it just could have been the painting conditions I was in. I can always scuff and put another coat of clear on it, but it is not as shiny. You can see it. It's almost got like a, I don't know, it's almost got a coating on it. It just looks weak sauce. So let's just leave this alone. Okay, and yes, it's gonna be another 24 hours. I'll see you guys tomorrow, not a big deal. We'll check on this and see how it looks. I think it looks really good. But we'll check on this and see how it looks, and if this dries as glossy as that looks, then we're gonna rock that as well. I do notice a difference. I don't know if you guys can see this, but the lettering looks almost 3D. See that? Like there is a dimension to the red. So I don't know if I layered the black on thicker, and there literally is the layer you're seeing off the gloss, but as I move, you can see the edge of the letters, my point. Like inside the inner edge, you can see it. Whereas on this one, it's just kind of a straight shot color, but look how dull it is compared to this one. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. One side's shining the other, it is what it is. See you tomorrow. Check this out, man. It has been a few days and this thing dried looking really awesome. Looks really good. And I went ahead and shot another coat on the other caliper, and I'll be honest, it looks even better. Nice thick coat. That's probably its second or third coat. This is its third coat, or second coat, and it looks really good. So this is dry. This is ready to be reassembled and put onto the vehicle. We could put it on the wheel to see how it looks. That one I just shot, again, just to get rid of the haze. I don't know if I think I had some overspray on it, or it just shot lightly. Now that I've kind of laid down a thicker coat on this one and saw how much better, you know, it turned out for the gloss, I went ahead and did it on this one as well. And to be honest, it's even better. And the lettering is in really good shape. So, super happy how these turned out. We're going to reassemble this, put the valves back in, put the brake hardware back on, take off what I've masked here just for the these mounting adapters from S&S. Yeah, and we'll slap it on the wheel and see what it looks like just with the ESR wheels poking out. Cool. All right, guys, check it out, man. Tell me that doesn't look awesome. Yeah, that looks pretty sweet. I am a fan, and we put a little bit of a spacer on it. So I got those spacers. It is like a, oh my God, I couldn't even tell you the thickness, guys. It's a tiny spacer just to bring the wheel out. It was about a credit card close to hitting the caliper with these ESR wheels. These ESR wheels are obviously for a big brake, you know, hence the spoke design. I love these wheels. They're gonna look amazing, but I did go ahead and put a little bit of spacer on just to space out a little bit, you know, take up any slack that might be there as the calipers get hot, but it fits. Obviously it's pretty close, but look at that, man. It's gonna look good going down the road. Custom EgoBruise Brembo painted calipers. Man, that is gonna be it for this episode. But hey, stay tuned because I'm about to put out another video here on the 86 over here because I've got the results back for my injectors, and I hate to tell you guys, injectors are fine. Nothing's wrong with the injectors, which means we got something else going on in this motor that caused the cylinder to damn near melt down. So we're gonna have to go through this. I've got a general idea of what it is. I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't good. So we're gonna diagnose this in the next video. Check it out with me, hang out in the garage with me, okay? See what's going on with this motor. Yep, and we'll see you next time. Hey, make sure to follow me on Instagram, okay? Make sure to follow me on House of Doula, okay? HouseOfDoula.com is where I put everything. And yeah, keep wrenching on your boxes, guys. We'll see you next time.